Barclays is incredibly keen to get involved in this really important campaign in terms of the climate crisis challenge. It's probably the biggest key challenge that the industry faces. And I think what we're exploring and discovering all the time is that collaboration across the industry is absolutely critical to solve this issue. We need to share best practices. We need to have open conversations between all market participants. We sponsored the campaign last year, and that really did stimulate a lot of really good conversation with our clients and really gave us some great feedback that really sort of helped us focus our own minds on how we can help. We're a lender, right? So we know that finance has a critical role to play. We recognize that. We've got a commitment to make 100 billion of green financing available by the end of 2030. We actually managed to achieve just over half of that goal by the end of half one last year. So we're making good strides, but there's still plenty to go. We're not just limited to financing. We've got a big role to play in the broader problems that need to be solved here, and we're very, very acutely aware of the needs that our clients have in terms of innovation in technology, and particularly in data management, which is a real thorny issue in terms of getting our arms around the data that we need to be proactive in attacking the green lending agenda. And we've been really keen and proactive in that space. We've actually invested in businesses that are active in this space through our Sustainable Impact Fund, and that's really helping them grow, which will help hopefully for them to deliver some of the solutions that we're all crying out for. As one of the key strands this year of the campaign to reduce in-use energy, as it's referred to, we're really committed to helping our clients transition in terms of the estates that they own and manage. And we've been working really, really hard to understand our clients' underlying real estate specifics from a carbon use perspective in particular. And that's a lot of education and exploratory dialogue with many of our clients across the whole spectrum. And a lot of our clients, they are going to require funding to undertake those transition projects. And we're keen to talk to businesses about how we can help them in terms of funding their transition plans. That's a key aspect of dialogue that we're having on a day-to-day basis with our client base. We're very active in this space, but what we need to do is extend that dialogue across the whole spectrum of clients through to our SMEs as well. I mentioned that we've been investing in companies that have a big important part to play, as a specific example, we've invested in Save Money Cut Carbon. That's a business that really helps clients work out the steps they need to take to reduce their carbon and save costs in the process. So that's really, really important, and I think that investment alone really sort of demonstrates our recognition that clients need a lot of help to move forward at the pace that we all need to achieve as we try and solve this problem. Sparkys obviously has its own real estate portfolio, and it's sizable, and it's really interesting to note that we've been carbon neutral in our scope 1 and 2 and scope 3 business travel since 2020, and it's part of our ambition really to be net zero by 2050, and we're working super hard to achieve our net zero ambitions. In order to align to the UK Green Building Council pathways, we're committed to reducing energy intensity by 70% on all of our campuses by 2035, and to try and do that, we're looking at things like building management systems, adjusting our buildings for different occupancy levels and lighting and so on and so forth. And we've absolutely gone out there in terms of our goals of using energy from renewable sources, and I'm delighted to say that we're now up to 94% of usage from those sources, which is a great step forward. It's really important in terms of understanding what the key goals are for us this year, and we've talked a lot about the in-use piece. The other key theme for us is the what. We're conscious that there are lots of funding solutions coming into the market to help the sector, and that ranges from green mortgages, retrofit mortgages, to a whole range of lending and trading products, to an increasingly sophisticated capital market product. Everyone is learning on the theme of ESG, so really unpacking it, in terms of understanding what's on offer, talking to our clients on the theme, that's all going to be incredibly helpful. How do we accelerate progress? I mean, you do have the larger listed, and more institutional style clients that are clearly moving ahead at pace. They have their own sustainability teams, they publish sustainability strategies, setting out their own individual pathways, and they're, aligning their own funding requirements very much to the green agenda. And that's really being pushed and driven by, their own investors, their shareholders, and obviously the regulatory regulatory framework as well. And I think, what we need to do is try and really get to the whole market to reach that intensity. And the barriers for other players that don't have access to that kind of resource, they need the knowledge, skills, data, access to tech, and all the tools that go hand in hand with being successful in this drive for a better green outcome. And there's a huge amount going on in all of these themes, and I think we just need to really get those developments happening. We need to get them shared in terms of that experience, and we need to get them scaled up at pace. Each lender is kind of thinking about the whole ESG agenda in their own way and trying to solve it in their own way, and inevitably we're all coming up with a different version of the truth and a different set of answers. We're all screaming out for consistency, and I think industry bodies sort of giving us direction and actually giving us a bit of consistency, and we can all be focused and targeted on what the market standards need to be. Then I think it means we can all get there a hell of a lot quicker. How do we make sure this happens? Will it happen quick enough? I think the pace has definitely picked up over the last couple of years, but we have got a lot to do. If you just look at the sheer volume of real estate that exists across the UK in terms of the built environment, and the amount of aged product in that estate, there's a hell of a lot to do. And we've got a big part to play in making sure that we accelerate that, because there's a lot to do in a relatively short space of time. I think the industry's woken up, but I'm not going to underestimate the size of the challenge. And I think we have a really important part to play in helping to educate our clients in order to make sure that they fully understand the scale of the challenge that lies ahead for all of us, and we just need to work together to try and make sure that we can help our clients do what they need to do to bring their estates up to scratch.